something feels off. And I don't mean like a vague, general something is not quite right kind of feeling. I mean that specific thing that you've been carrying around, that low hum underneath everything, that quiet knowing that that will not leave you alone, no matter how many times you try to logic your way out of it. You have been feeling it, maybe for a few days, maybe longer. And here is the thing that I need you to actually sit with right now. Because this is important. You didn't find this video. This video found you. Found you. Have you ever felt like the universe was trying to send you a text message that you just couldn't ignore? That's exactly what's happening right now. That feeling in your chest, that thing you've been trying to explain to yourself or to somebody else and just couldn't find the right words for. That's exactly why you're here. The odds of you seeing this video right now are 1 in a million. Yet here you are. Here you are. And fate doesn't knock twice with the same message. This is your moment. So stay with me, because in the next 24 hours, you are about to understand why none of this is random. I know that sounds like something people say. I know it sounds like one of those things that's designed. Yeah, designed to make you feel special and then deliver nothing. So I want to earn your attention. I want to actually tell you what's going on. Because what's happening right now, energetically, in terms of the patterns I'm seeing, in terms of what keeps showing up again and again, for people who are drawn to messages like this one. It is not random. None of it is. None. And if you have been feeling like something is shifting, like the ground under you is moving in a way you can't quite see, you are correct. Something is absolutely shifting. Something is ending. I want to say something is beginning. And in the next 24 hours, it is a window. Next 24-hour window, a real one. Don't let this 24-hour window close without acknowledging what's happening. So stay with me here. Let me paint you a picture. It's probably been happening like this. You are going about your day, totally normal stuff, and then out of nowhere you feel it. This thing, like a sudden drop in temperature and in a room that seemed fine a second ago. Or you are in the middle of a conversation with someone and something they say lands wrong, not offensive, not dramatic, just slightly off. Like a note played just barely out of tune, and you smile and you nod and you keep going, but something inside you doesn't keep going, doesn't want to keep going. Something inside you stops and goes, wait a second, that wasn't right. And you file it away. You don't make a big deal of it, but you file it away. That's been happening more lately, hasn't it? That filing things away, that noticing. Your gut has been working overtime, and you've been half listening to it and half talking yourself out of it, because you are a reasonable person. Of course you are. because you don't want to be the kind of person who reads too much into things, because you've been wrong before, or at least you told yourself you were wrong, and it cost you something to believe that. So now you have got this deal with yourself. Feel it, note it, don't act on it yet. Watch and see. Here's what I want you to understand about that instinct. That is instinct. It's not paranoia, it's not anxiety, it's not you being too sensitive, which by the way is one of the most damaging things someone can be told, because it trains you to distrust the most sophisticated warning system you have. Your intuition isn't playing tricks on you. It's actually trying to protect you, always. What you've been feeling is intelligence. Your mind and your body put together have been pattern matching on information that your conscious brain hasn't fully processed yet. You've been picking up on things, micro-expressions, inconsistencies, shifts in someone's energy toward you, gaps between what someone says and what they actually do. And your nervous system, your system, has been quietly compiling all of it. That feeling of something is off isn't confusion. No, you just haven't let yourself fully arrive at it yet. And right now, something about this particular moment in time is turning up the volume on all of that. Clarity is coming in fast. For a lot of people right now, things that were blurry are snapping into focus. Things that were hidden are becoming visible, not because of some dramatic confrontation or revelation. Sometimes it happens quietly. You are standing in the kitchen, examples, and something clicks. You are driving and you suddenly see the whole thing clearly, all the pieces at once, and you almost have to pull over because you can't believe you couldn't see it before. That's happening right now for a lot of people, and it might be about to happen for you. Here is the image I want you to sit with. And I need you to actually feel this, not just hear it. Imagine your life is a massive, incredibly complex puzzle. And you have been trying to put it together in the dark. You've been feeling pieces, guessing shapes, holding things up and trying to figure out where they belong, without being able to see the full picture. And then, out of nowhere, a spotlight switches on. And right there, under that light, one single piece, the piece, the one that doesn't just fill a gap, but actually lets you see what the whole image is supposed to be. That's what the next 24 hours are. That's what the finding this video is. This isn't a coincidence. It's a cosmic tap on the shoulder telling you to pay attention. You were chosen by this message for a reason you're about to discover. The timing of you finding this isn't random. It's calculated by fate. And the universe isn't just watching you right now. It's actively conspiring in your favor. At the same time, and this is the part you really need to pay attention to, the energy right now is also very impulsive, very reactive. People are reacting fast, talking fast, making quick decisions based on emotion instead of clarity. There is a lot of noise, a lot of people saying things they don't fully mean, or meaning things they are not fully saying. Mixed signals are everywhere right now. And the trap, the thing that can trip you up in the next 24 hours specifically, is reacting to all that noise instead of watching it. Stop looking for answers in the noise and start listening to the silence. Because when you react, you give away information. You show your hand. And there are people in your life right now who are very interested in your hand. Here's the thing about someone showing you who they are. They almost never do it directly. Nobody sends you a text that says, "Hey, I've been working against your interests. Just wanted to let you know." That's not how it works. What happens is much subtler. What happens is a sleep, a moment where the mask shifts just slightly, where the story they have been telling doesn't quite match up, where they tried a little too hard to seem casual about something they are clearly not casual about, where they ask you a question that sounds like concern but feels like a reconnaissance. And if you are paying attention, if you are actually watching instead of reacting, you can see it. You see it clear as day. And you know, of course you know, trust the glitches in your reality right now. Those weird moments where something just doesn't add up. Those are doorways. Not into paranoia, not into drama, into clarity. Your subconscious has already processed what your logical brain is still trying to explain. When something feels like a glitch, when the story someone is telling you has a tiny cracks in it that you almost missed, don't dismiss that. That crack is a doorway. Walk through it with your eyes open. Someone is going to reach out to you. Maybe they already have. Maybe you are about to see a name on your phone and feel that flicker of something. Not excitement, not exactly dread, something more complicated than either of those. This is someone who has been watching you, following your energy, even if not literally. They've been tracking you from a distance, paying attention to your life, noticing that you've been pulling away from them, from a situation, from a dynamic that used to have a hold on you. And they don't like it. Not because they genuinely miss you, although they will say that. Not because they care about how you're doing, although they will ask for sure. It's because your distance makes them feel something they can't stand. Powerless. Yeah, powerless. They were feeding something off of your engagement, your attention, your emotional availability. And you've been withholding that, consciously or not, and they feel it like a door slowly closing. So they are going to come in. They are going to lead with warmth. They are going to say things that hit the right notes. I was thinking about you. I miss this. Are you okay? And part of you is going to soften because you're a human being, and being reached out by someone who used to matter to you, even if they hurt you, even if something was wrong, still activates something. That's not weakness, that's wiring. But here is what you need to hold on to right now, in this moment, before it happens. The purpose of that reach out is not to give you something. No. It is to get something specifically. It's to get access to your emotions, to get you back into your feelings about this person or this situation, to get you talking, reacting, revealing, to remind you that you are attached. They need you in your feelings because that's the version of you they can work with. The detached version of you, the observing version of you, the quietly watchful version of you, that version is completely useless to them. So that's what you become in the next 24 hours. You become the observer. You watch. You listen more than you speak. You notice what people are not saying just as much as what they are. You don't volunteer information. You don't explain yourself to people who are only asking so they can use the answer. You answer with warmth and with absolutely nothing of substance. You smile, you keep your cards close, and you watch what they do. Because here is what the next 24 hours are really about. It's not about drama. It's not about confrontation. It is about revelation. Things are coming into the light right now. Patterns that have been running in the background are surfacing. People who have been playing a particular role in your life are about to make that role visible in a way you can't ignore. Not because you are looking for it, because something bigger than all of us is done waiting for the polite moment to show you. The polite moment has passed. Now it's just showing you directly. This sign, finding this video, feeling what you're feeling right now as you watch it. This is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. Not eventually, now. The world might call it luck, but we know it's a divine appointment. And divine appointments don't happen on accident. No, they happen when you're finally ready to receive what's been waiting for you. And there is something here about what you actually want. Because this isn't just about other people. This is about you too. You've been training yourself to want less, to take up less space, to need less from the situation and people around you. And you have been telling yourself that that's maturity, that's wisdom, that's being easy and flexible and not a burden. But underneath that, if you sit quietly enough to hear it, there is a voice that knows the truth. You haven't stopped wanting. You've just stopped admitting it. You've gotten so good at anticipating the cost of wanting something and having it not happen, or having it happen and then be taken away, that you've started cutting yourself off at the want itself, before the disappointment can reach you, before you can be seen wanting something and told that that was foolish or too much or too embarrassing. That costs you more than you know, not just in the obvious way, like not going after things you deserve. It costs you something deeper. It costs you the ability to know yourself. Because when you stop admitting what you want, you start losing track of who you are. You start making decisions based on what seems safe or reasonable or unlikely to upset the balance, instead of what actually calls to you. You become incredibly effective at living other people's versions of your life. And then you wake up one day, or maybe you have already woken up, and you feel that particular kind of hollow that comes from having everything technically okay and nothing actually right. If you have been feeling off lately, really off, not just tired or stressed, but something deeper than that, consider this your official confirmation. You're not making it up. You're not being dramatic. You're not too much. What you've been sensing is real. And the fact that you can feel it at all means something important. You have not gone completely numb. There is still a part of you that knows the difference between the life you're living and the life that's actually yours. Hold on to that part. That part is the most valuable thing you have right now. You have a light. You have a light. I'm going to ask you to actually sit with this image for a second. Not as a nice metaphor, but as a real thing. You have a particular frequency of energy, the way you think, the things you find funny, the specific way you see a situation that nobody else in the room is seeing. And when that's fully expressed, it doesn't just make things brighter for you. It actually changes the room. Other people feel it too. If they can't name it, even if they can't name it. There is a reason certain people are threatened by you. It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's because your light makes their shadows visible. And they have worked very hard to keep you from noticing that your light can do that. Because if you noticed, you might stop being so cooperative about keeping it turned down. Think about the last time you had something to say and you didn't say it. Not in a big dramatic way, just a regular moment. Someone told a story, or maybe made a point, or pitched an idea, and you saw something they didn't see. You had the angle, you had the line, you had the specific insight that you would have shifted the whole thing. And you held it, you smiled, and you made space for their moment, and you filed away the thing you could have said. And there was a version of you that didn't file it away, that just said it. And that version lit up the room, not at anyone else's expense, just fully, just completely, genuinely there. You've been doing that feeling thing for a long time now, and it's become so automatic that you barely even notice the impulse before you are already suppressing it. Your nervous system learned somewhere along the way from someone in some situation, maybe a long time ago, that being fully yourself came with a price tag. That taking up space, taking up your full amount of space, made certain people uncomfortable or unkind, or suddenly very interested in cutting you down. And your system is smart, very, very smart. It adapted. It kept you safe. That adaptation was genuinely intelligent, and it served a real purpose. But here is what's true now. In this moment, on this specific day, when you were drawn to this video for a reason, that are not random. The situation that made that adaptation necessary is not the situation you are in anymore. You are not the version of you who first learned to go quiet. You have more information now. You've survived things that the earliest version of you couldn't have imagined surviving. You've learned things about yourself in the hard moments that you couldn't have learned any other way. And the smallness that kept you safe then, it's suffocating you now. Suffocating. That's the thing that's off. That's the real thing, not just the person, not just the situation. You coming back to yourself. Whatever has been weighing on your heart, I want you to feel this. It's about to be lifted. Not because things are going to magically fix themselves overnight, but because you are standing at the exact moment where the puzzle piece lands under the spotlight. And you are standing exactly at the point where what was hidden becomes clear. And clarity changes everything. Not your circumstances, your clarity. Because when you can finally see the full picture, even just the corner of it that this one piece reveals, you stop wasting energy on confusion. You stop second guessing the things you already knew. You stop being available to people who depend on your confusion to maintain their access to you. So here's what's actually happening in the next 24 hours. It's not just that things are being revealed about other people. Things are being revealed to you about yourself, about what you actually want, about what you have been settling for and telling yourself it was wisdom, about who in your life is feeding off the dimmer version of you, and what they do the moment you let the light back on, even just a little. Pay attention to that. The people who celebrate when you show up fully, they are your people. They are your people. The people who get weird or distant or suddenly find things wrong with you, or reach out to pull you back into an old dynamic the moment you seem like you might be leaving it. That's information. That's the most important information you have right now. there is this something coming in for you. Something good is moving in your direction, and it is specifically geared toward the version of you that shows up fully. Not the managed, careful, don't take up too much space version. The real one. And there are people in your orbit who know this on some level, who can feel that something is about to open up for you. And they are not happy about it. No, not because they have thought it through carefully. Just because your good fortune is somehow a threat to the story they need to be true. Pay attention to who gets strange in the next 24 hours. Pay attention to who suddenly wants to check in. Pay attention to who offers you something that looks like warmth, but feels calculated. That's all information. And you already know how to read it. You've been reading it all along. You just gave yourself permission to dismiss it. So stop dismissing it and pay attention to your dreams tonight. Pay attention. Your processing center is working on something. There is a clarity that's been trying to reach you, and you might need to be asleep before it can get through all the noise. If you wake up in the middle of the night suddenly knowing something, not thinking it, knowing it, write it down. Don't second guess it in the morning. The moment of knowing is the truth. The second guessing is just the part of you that learned to be careful, trying to protect you from a danger that isn't there anymore. Here is what this video was always about. Not the people trying to get back in, not the patterns being exposed, not even the things that something that's coming in for you. It was about the thing that you've been feeling, that low hum, that something's off. And the fact that what's off isn't what you thought. What's off is the gap between who you actually are and the version of yourself that you have been performing for people who needed you smaller. That gap has been getting bigger. You've been feeling it more intensely. And the reason you found this video, the reason fate dropped this in your path on this particular day, is because you are ready to close that gap. The cosmic puzzle piece has landed. The spotlight is on. The piece you've been missing, the one that makes the whole picture finally make sense, is right there in front of you. Not eventually, right now. The invisible version of yourself that you've been making do with, that was never really you. That was a costume, a smart, necessary, protective costume that did its job. And now you are standing in the dressing room, looking at yourself in the mirror, and somewhere in there you can feel the real version of you starting to look back. That's not nothing, that's everything. The world might call what's happening to you luck, but we know it's a divine appointment, and you were always going to be here at this exact moment, feeling exactly this, ready for exactly what comes next. In the next 24 hours, you are going to see exactly why it matters, Watch closely. Don't react. Trust what you already know. And whatever you do, don't let this window close without acknowledging what's happening. Because fate doesn't knock twice with the same message. And this message has your name on it.